Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. The Premier League is finally back after the international break. Now we can enjoy club football again. Thank God as well. My channel being completely inactive for, what was it, 2 weeks? Didn't look good on me. But we have our club football back again. And we're kicking this one off with a juicy one, to say the least. Under the new management of Ange Postecoglou, as we all know, he was an ex-Tottenham manager, and his first game is going to be coming to the Emirates. The poetry writes itself, but regardless, I've always said with Nottingham Forest that they will come at you regardless. They can be doing well, they can be doing poorly, but they're still going to come at us, and we have to be ready to meet them. I'm not too worried about them per se. I'm not worried about necessarily about their team. I still think we should be able to beat them both home and away, but we have to be willing to go at them. Now at home, I've got no doubt we'll go at them, but at the same time, we've got to solve that left wing issue, and we have the perfect player for it. It's just a question of whether or not Mikel Arteta is going to play him. Regardless, Nottingham Forest currently sit 10th in the league, and of course we sit 3rd. And we need to pick up as many points as we can to keep up with Liverpool. And let's be honest, Liverpool, they're the favourites to win it right now. One could argue they were the favourites before Anfield, that they were going to win it, but they're definitely favourites. However, just because they're favourites doesn't mean that we can't win something. And let's be absolutely honest here, Arteta has to win something now. If he doesn't, the fans are going to go against him, and that's bare minimum. We've gone for too long without a trophy, and that's just not acceptable standards for Arsenal. But on top of that, there's a lot of talks about obviously the new manager mentality, and how that can affect the players. Considering that this particular new manager is Ange Postecoglou, I'm not too worried about that. I don't think he's going to come in there and do bits at Nottingham Forest. But the sacking of the previous Nottingham Forest manager made no sense to me. At least from a footballing perspective anyways. Because you can tell that he was getting results. He was getting the job done. He took Nottingham to European football. Him getting sacked made absolutely no sense football-wise, so it was absolutely personal. And I'm curious as well how much influence Edu has in the Nottingham Forest team, but look, at the end of the day, we've got Andre Berta, and I'm definitely happier with him than I am with Edu. I think Edu just wasn't good enough. Regardless, let's get into our starting lineup, and of course we're going to have to start off with David Raya. Don't really need to explain that one too much. David Raya, he's always going to be our first choice for as long as he plays for us. And yes, I've been critical with him at times, but still, he's our best option. Into the centre-back pairing, it's of course going to be William Saliba and Gabriel. Those two are absolutely impeccable. Left back, I'm going to say Calafiori. I think Calafiori, Calafiori. Yeah, with Calafiori, he does concern me how injury prone he is, but he's still a brilliant player overall. And if he can just get past that injury proneness, I think it will show how much of an addition he is to the Arsenal team. On the right back, I've gone with Jurrien Timber. I think Jurrien Timber in general, brilliant defensive player, and we're going to need to play to our biggest strength, which is defence. Teams struggle to break us down, but the only thing I'm concerned with is accidentally letting in a goal. We've only let in one goal so far this season, but you know we've got a mistake in us. In the midfield, starting off, I'm gonna say Zubamendi. Zubamendi himself, obviously he made that quote unquote mistake with the tackle. It was a needless foul to give away, but I'm not gonna be too horrible on him just because it's his first mistake for Arsenal, and in general he's looked like such a great player for us. But with Zubamendi, he's going to come into this. He's going to get the job done. He's going to be defensive in the midfield. He's going to get the ball forward as often as he can. He's done it for us so often so far, just in pre-season. Alongside him, I'm going to have Declan Rice. And of course, Declan Rice, I love the way he moves forward. I've said it countless times. The way he moves forward, the way he holds the ball, the fact that he's willing to let go of the ball. And of course, who can forget those free kicks against Real Madrid? And I'm going to say Martin Odegaard. With Martin Odegaard now, this is going to be an interesting one. And I say that because Martin Odegaard, previously, he's been struggling in this Arsenal squad. But he goes over in the Norway team, he gets a goal and 2 assists, something like that. It's interesting to see whether that's a sign that he's improving again and he's getting back to his original self. Hopefully it is, because we need him. We need him desperately. But as well, it makes me think, is this because he was underperforming or because he was being told to do certain things by Mikel Arteta? And we know Mikel Arteta can be very stubborn. It's my biggest criticism of Arteta is that he's very stubborn. And sometimes his decision making doesn't make sense to me. So that is another question as well to ask. Is Mikel Arteta micromanaging Odegaard, or is Odegaard just dropped down in performance in general? I suppose that's its own kind of discussion to have, but on top of that, moving on to the final third now, I'm going to say Madueke, even if Saka is eligible to play. And the only reason I say that is because Saka, don't get me wrong, I want to see him back on that pitch, but I'm worried about bringing him on too early. I still don't know the full extent of his injury. I hope he's perfectly okay. I'm hearing he's back in training. But we've got to be careful with Saka. We've lost him last season, and that absolutely cost us. I think play it safe for now. Play Madueke, and just remember that Madueke is a great player. Genuinely, it's crazy to think that Madueke, we had a petition against Madueke to not join, and yet Madueke has come in and he's proven he's actually a really good player. But we've seen quality come from Madueke. Hasn't yet got a goal for us yet, but if you look at that Liverpool game, for example, he had Kirkez on toast. Just didn't really get that final outcome. But I can't complain too much. Madueke, brilliant overall player. And I'd like to see him play in that right wing position just to be safe. Now on that left wing position, I'm going to say Eberechi Eze. And this is where a lot of people are going to start arguing if Arteta plays Martinelli. If Arteta plays Martinelli there is no excuse. It's just stubbornness at that point. Martinelli, I'm saying this now, he's had one good season for us, and he's been shit ever since. I don't want to be saying it, but I just don't think he's good enough. At least, or at very least, he doesn't seem to be translating well into this squad. He's a good talent, but I don't think he's going to have to be here very long. At most, he's going to be here till the end of this season. And then he'll either be benched or sold. But Eberechi Eze, on the other hand, you could see it in that Liverpool game. I'm going to go back to that. Eberechi Eze did more than Martinelli in a few minutes than Martinelli did all game. I can't see why Emirates doesn't get started today. I would, absolutely. And of course, to end it off, in our striker position has to be Victor Gyökeres. There's a lot of criticism that's gone towards Gyökeres. Bug. There's a lot of criticism that goes over to Gyökeres, primarily from rival fans. And the reality is, I don't blame him really, because he's not getting the ball enough. He's making the move, but he's not getting the ball. And I'm wondering if this is going to translate well into Mikel Arteta's playstyle. But if we can get him the ball just a little bit more, I'd imagine he'd be scoring goals. But regardless, that's it from me now. Let me know what you think down below. Like, share, and comment, and please do subscribe. It really does help out the channel. I'm excited to go back to the second home game of the season. First one after the international break. It's only been 2 weeks, but it feels like forever. But that's it for now, and I'll be seeing you guys in the match review for Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. Goodbye for now.